Hello everyone, my name is Kay and I am Stitchy Fifer here on YouTube and over on Instagram. A very warm welcome to my channel. If this is your first time visiting my channel, please if you like what you see on the channel, please do click on the like and subscribe buttons and select all on the notification bell. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming and spending some more time with me today. I'm working today on this piece, if I can get it into the camera. There we go. This is Let Me Be, artwork by Ravenscroft, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a retired chart. I think Linda Ravenscroft is retired as well as an artist on Heaven and Earth Designs. Yeah, this is what I'm working on today, and I'm working up in this section here, up here. I'm just finishing off this first little blob. I don't know what to call it other than a blue circle smoke ring type motif. It's difficult to describe. So I'm just going to finish off that there. I'm about 2/3 of the way through it. So we're just going to work on that. Forgot what I was going to say. Oh, don't you just hate when that happens? Yeah, like I say, I'm just going to work away on this. Don't think there'll be too much talking. I have got a bit of a headache. I get migraines when the pressure changes suddenly, and we are currently under an amber warning for Storm Florence crossing Scotland today, and the pressure is the air pressure is changing rapidly, and my head is starting to really hurt. Plus, I didn't sleep very well last night, so I'm a wee bit on the tired side. I have taken painkillers for my headache, and hopefully they will kick in. And I won't have to cut this short. I'm just going to try and work and finish this bit off. I shall see what colour is that piece. 716. That's what's on my needle. That's fine. If you'd seen my Stitch With Me video from Friday, which was my new start one, I did demonstrate a wee bit on my stitching method. I said then I was going to work with colour sort of lead me where I want it to go, but try and stick with the snake method that I normally do. So I've been fairly successful with that. I'm just working backwards and forwards across the shape. And of course parking where there's not a completed stitch above. And get a couple more stitches out of that piece, please. It's quite surprising actually, there's some purples in that. And looking at the mock-up, you would never have thought there was purples in it. It looks like it's just a dark blue circle. But there's actual purples in there and a couple of very pale greens as well, making up that that, I don't know what you call it. I don't want to say it's a flower. It might be a stylised flower, or a berry or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, as I said, we're under an amber warning for wind, because of the storm. And literally, as soon as the Met Office had issued the amber warning, ScotRail made an announcement that they were cancelling all services north of Fife and Perth up the west coast. I don't know what's happening with the buses. I normally hear the odd bus going past, but I've not heard anything. It might just be that I'm not hearing them over the wind. And so they might still be running, but at least it's not as bad as the storm had in January. We had a power cut. The power was off for 2 days, and it was, or just shy of 2 days. And it was, in the middle of January or beginning of January when it's absolutely freezing outside and no heating, no electricity. I think me and the cat's hunkered down in the bed with a quilt. I need to... I know what I'm doing. Here. Any up there? Yeah, but not about 3 blocks over. Right, so that's too far away. That one. Right, so let's not do that bit there, but go up there to... there, back down to here. Somebody's wheelie bin's getting blown about today. But today's bin day, so, or trash day for you guys over in the States. So the bins are empty and they're getting blown about all over. So yeah, I'm continuing on with this sort of, it's a bit of a merger between the snake method and Gemma's colour flow method. In that I follow the colours where the colours lead, completing the stitch if the stitch above is done. If it's going to leave me with I wouldn't stitch that one before that one. I would stitch that end one first, then that one, just so that I don't have, because the stitch underneath is completed, it's just so that I don't have I did do that other legs, didn't I? So that I don't have to sort of messy stitches because I've had to fill a hole, if you know what I mean. So what I'll do is, instead of going, although I'm working right to left in this row, these 4 stitches here I'll work left to right so that I don't block in any stitches. So I'll do this one first. And it's just basically one stitch and taking it down to the row below. So I'm a wee bit out of order. That's one. Oh. Ah, right, okay. That's what I've done. That's why it looks weird. I've marked those 2 off and I've not even stitched them. Can I get this? One more stitch, come on. Down there. Come on, pull. There we go. I tried filming this last night and Oscar was having none of it. He was walking around the house shouting, trying to get his supper. This was something like 7 o'clock at night. He doesn't get his supper till 9 o'clock, and he knows that. But he always tries to get it early. So, yeah. Filming got abandoned last night. I like to do my stitch with knees on a Sunday. I do my updates on a Saturday, and I like to have my Sunday, do my stitch with me, and then, you know, get that done first thing. But the universe was conspiring against me yesterday. This project, I'm working on it, trying to get to 3,000 stitches, and I'm currently at 1,774. So much for 3 days. This is third day on it. Tomorrow, fourth day on it. I'm not spending all day stitching on these at the moment because I have got other whips that I'm kind of focusing on as well. My HAED Flying Roses. Trying to do 250 stitches a day on that. And my supersized the Kitschy Kitchen Shelf Max Colour from HAED. It's a artwork by Aimee Stewart.
This might answer your question. Eric Michael
Alexa, stop. Thank you. By Aimee Stewart, and that is getting 100 stitches per day for August. As part of the Stitch Along in Nicola Simply Stitchers group, Simply a Stitcher and Friends. It's on Facebook. Quite a nice group of people on there, quite a friendly bunch. You know, if you're interested, go and check it out. Nicola's the reason I won't do a live on a Wednesday or a Sunday, because those are the days that she does her live, and I enjoy watching them, so and taking part in them, so I won't film a live Stitch With Me video on those days. I'm toying with Tuesday or Thursday at the moment, but I really just need to wait and see what happens. You know, it depends. I might not even bother doing them. Depends how many people want them. I have to say, since my whip parade, my mid-year whip parade, I have noticed a big influx in subscribers, and it's really is appreciated, and it's very humbling for me. I'm this overweight 50 odd year old from central Scotland who really just started this channel for no other reason than to help keep track of my projects and let me see my progress every week. And yeah, and the Stitch With Me's came about because I enjoyed watching Stitch With Me videos while I was stitching. Even the ones that are ASMR, that like Needle Kim and the Jewel. I'm gonna butcher this name, Jewelak. Something like that. I think she's Korean or Thai or something. She's Asian, I think. She also does a Stitch With Me video. And it is ASMR and it's stitchy sounds. Absolutely no talking in them. So I enjoy watching them, so I wanted to offer those on my channel as well. I think this was like the second or third talky one that I've done, chatty one that I've done. And a lot of the time with me, it's I either run out of things to say, or I go off on a tangent, and then I stop myself and I think, people aren't going to want to listen to that. What are you talking about? And then I've got to try and remember what I was talking about to get back on the subject. Oh, sugar. I missed a stitch. Okay, so that can come back out. Come on. Right, where are you going? Ah, you're going down there, right. You can come out earlier. Come on. Does anyone else talk to their stitches when they're trying to frog them? Am I the only one? Am I the only crazy one? I hope not. Yeah, park that there. Yeah, so I tend to go off on tangents and forget what I was saying, and then I've got to backtrack, and I can never remember what my subject is, or I can start an entirely new subject. And I take my hat off to those of you who do Stitch With Me videos and you talk. It comes across so natural. Thinking of Gemma. I love Gemma's videos. I love hearing about what's happening with her husband and her son, and what's going on around about. And she's got one of those voices that's just so relaxing to listen to. So is Slow Stitch Yogi. Caught a couple of her live streams. But even on the replay, I really enjoy listening to her voice. She's got such a relaxing voice, and I believe she's a yoga instructor, so it would pay for her to have one of those voices that relaxes people. Through took a picture of my kitchen shelf yesterday to post it into the events tab on Nicola's group for my daily update, and I actually looked a lot better in the photograph than it did looking at it on the frame. Hopefully it'll look okay when it's done, when it's completed. I guess we're just so critical because we're so up close and personal with them. Oh, sugar. Wrong. Right now. Colour is that 91. There. One, two, one. Go. trying to think what I was watching on TV last night. What did I watch on Netflix? I can't remember. It was so memorable, I can't remember. I had watched, last week I watched Loch Ness on Netflix. It was quite good. I quite like thrillers and crime dramas and stuff like that. Pardon me. The only time I don't really like a thriller is if it gets... I don't do horror. I just absolutely do not do horror at all. I don't enjoy them. I don't enjoy making myself feel scared. There's enough things in the world to scare us without going out of your way to scare yourself silly and stop yourself from sleeping and what have you. So I don't do horrors, but I do like a psychological thriller, as long as it's not like a horror type thing, but it's a psychological, something that makes you think. I like those. And this Loch Ness was one of those. It kept you on your toes. It wasn't until like the very end of well, I'm not saying the very end, maybe the middle of the last episode, that you realised who the killer was, and not until then you were thinking, is it him? Is it him? Oh, it could be him. And it was really quite good. I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I think because of the way it was made, the way it was written, I don't think there's going to be a second one, unless they do something with the same character, like the same detectives in it, but somewhere else in Scotland. It was really quite, and it was interesting to see it as well, because the dynamics within the community that was affected, and it was really one of those that sort of like it was entertaining, and it was at the same time because you got to see the dynamics within them, and you know, in a small community. It was really quite good. And it wasn't who I thought it was going to be at the end. I like those ones where I've not worked out who it is. And it was one of those that did keep you coming back for more. Sometimes when you're watching crime dramas, you get 1 or 2 episodes when it's just boring. And it's not doing, you know, it's not doing its job. It's not keeping you entertained, not keeping you watching and engaged. And this one, it did. It kept me engaged the whole way through it. I made so many mistakes. I had to put the stitching away at one point because I was making so many mistakes on it. Unfortunately, I don't have many projects that are just like block stitching, because I tend to go for max colour charts, because I like the definition from the, you know, and the it's like watching something on your TV and it's standard definition, and then you go to watch the same thing on another TV that's high definition. It's that change with the max colours. I just prefer it. It can be a nightmare to stitch. A lot of confetti stitches, quite a few ninja stitches in there, but you know, if the chart is available with a max colour version, I will buy it. As like Yogi showed one last week that she was doing an Aimee Stewart called the Vintage Baker, and I was going to get it, and I went to go and look at it. Unfortunately, they don't have it in max colour or super size max colour, which is what I would prefer. Where's my 3041 went? So I'm toying with the idea of getting the special services on it and getting it done as a super size max colour, or even just as a max colour. Getting it recharted. It's just, I like the chart, but it's just, it needs, I think Aimee Stewart's charts lend themselves better to the supersized max colour because of the details that's in them. And if you've got a lot of detail, you want to see the definition in them. Yes, it's confetti hell, but it's so worth it in the end for the when you finish the design. And I don't mind working with 240 colours. I work from my master set, so the spare, when I get my fabric and floss from Abbey at Crossing Crafts, I just put the skeins away into the into the storage, into my backup, into my stash, and I work from the main set, which is basically, it's a master set. My master set is basically an active skein of every colour of CXC and Rose to Me for 01 to 35. So yeah, and I stole this idea from, I'll put them on the floss cards from Nicola. I had previously had them in floss drops in floss away bags, and it was just too time consuming. And the time that it took me to find the right floss bag, then to open it, get the floss out, it was, I would been as well bobinating everything because of the amount of time that it took to get my thread every time. So this is a lot quicker. I can get more stitches in. Still struggling to hit my target, so I think yesterday I did 818 stitches over 3 projects. That was doing, the order that I did them in was the Kitschy kitchen shelf for the Sal, and then I did my head Sal to get my 250 days. I had 250 stitches, sorry, and then I went on to this. But by the time I got onto this, it was that late on the day I couldn't get into a flow on it. So I decided today what I'm doing is I'm doing this one till dinner time, and then what I'll do is after dinner I'll do the Kitschy kitchen shelf, and then I'll do the head Sal. And if I've still got time left at the end of that before I go to my bed, I'll come back on and do some more of this. Put this one back on. And if that works, that's what I'll do. If that works to get my total up and up on this, because I don't want to be working on this all week to get my 3,000 stitches, because I want to get on and work on my Peacock and Roses Sampler. Because I've missed working on that. I do enjoy working on that. I'm doing that in variegated floss. I'm doing it in the Delta Blue variegated floss from DMC. I can't remember the thread colour. I think it's 121. Is it 121? Yeah, 121. That one, that's it. And it's beautiful, cause it's beautiful when it's stitched. I'm really enjoying it. I'm stitching that on 18 count, 1/1 Bill Cross. I might get a stitch with me on this one actually. But maybe not because it's quite spread out. I'm still working on the lattice. I've not reached the bird yet, but yeah, we go. Look at that. Look at the variegation in that. And then if I get that done, if I get my 1,000 stitches into that, I'll be doing the Dona Gelsinger one. Here was me saying that 2 days or 100 or 1,000 stitches wasn't enough. I'll see how I go on with this. I know your eyes are not deceiving you, that is deep purple. It's actually a lovely shade of purple. I do like that colour. Do you guys have a favourite floss colour that you like, that you really enjoy working with? And no, 310 doesn't count. You know, when you stitch it, you just say, oh, I like that. It doesn't have to be a DMC colour. It could be, you know, if you've got a favourite fancy floss. I've got 2 of the Cottage Garden threads there. I think it's Victor and Meadow to stitch on my Jardin Privé seasonal Quakers. I've still got 2 of them to get. I'll be getting them next month, I think. So Rachel, you better have them in stock in, because I'll be needing them. Once I decide what colour, my floss colour. I'm thinking a nice autumnal gold for the autumn one. And the winter one, a nice sort of mid-blue. And it's going to show up, I mean all 4 colours have to show up in the same colour fabric. Because I'm going to do them all in antique white. Pretty boring. I just work on either easy count or antique white. I mean, I don't do fancy ladies or anything like that, so you know, I don't know what it is. I like them, and they're beautiful, but there's just something about them that stops me. I think it's the faces. Their faces aren't as detailed as I would like. I think maybe spoilt because I've been doing full coverage, but and it's all the back stitch and the beading and that. It just kind of like, it makes me think, oh no, can't do that. And I'm such a klutz that if I was to be doing that, because I'm such a klutz, and then the cats are, well, Charlie's clumsy. I think his middle name's Clumsy, and Oscar's just such a full of mischief. I tried to think what would happen if I was trying to bead. I would need to chuck the cats out the room. and then get serenaded from the hall because they can't get in beside me. No, I'm just such a klutz myself. The beads would end up everywhere. They'd end up all over the house. So yeah, I think I'll just live vicariously through those that do them. It's the same with the chatelaines. I think they're beautiful. I would love to try one. But until I've done reading or something on a project, I don't think I will be. And it's the expense as well. I mean, what if I get halfway through it and then don't like it anymore? You know, and saying that, I do like the Scotland mandala, and I like the Poison Garden mandala. I like those two. And even in the park that Teresa Little Stitcher did, I enjoyed watching her working on that. But you know, the amount of work that goes into them is unbelievable, and they are beautiful charts. They're, you know, beautiful designs. But again, there's just too much fancy stuff going on for me, and I'm such a klutz, and with clumsy and idiot. I dread to think what would happen. You go there, right? Anyway. I think it's going to rain again. Yeah, hopefully I've got enough thread on my needle for the bits up, for the stitches I've highlighted. Two. One there. One, two there. One. Ouch. I just pricked myself with a needle. That was sore. Not very clever. Two. One. There. And then park it there. I'm about 2 weeks behind with my floss tubes as well. Still 2 weeks behind. At least I'm consistent. Yeah, I think I'm starting to get somewhere, and then all my regular ones that I watch all the time release theirs, and I was like, release their floss tubes, and I was like, oops. You know, those 4 that I removed from my watch list because I watched them, and there's another 4 back in their place, and I'm like, oh. I've already went through and taken out all the stitch with me's that were over an hour and a half. So I'm not watching like Kumari or Shino or any of those ones at the moment until I've caught up with my floss tubes a bit more. I'm going to leave it further down on this one because I forgot it was the last stitch in that colour, and I forgot to do my loop finish, and I'm not unpicking it to do it, so I'll just pin stitch it. About 5 stitches down instead of 3. This gives an extra couple of stitches to go for me to go over the tail. And now what colour is that? So if I find it, 3768. On. I noticed that Threads For You are selling pip and chip stuff now, and they've got the sticks for put like your thread round when you're doing your floss drops. I mean, I just sort of pull the skein out, fold it in half, and keep folding it till I get to the length. It's usually about what 18 inches or something from the tip of my finger to just below my elbow. Is my preferred length for one strand, and I'm thinking about doing another master set for the longer length for doing 2/1, but I don't have many 2/1 projects, so I could just technically pull the two strands at once and do my loop start as I would normally do for my single strand, because you can do that single strand loop start that I do. You can do that for as many strands as you want. Saying that, I haven't tried it with more than 3. See, I've done it again. I keep forgetting that I'm doing the last stitch. Right, loop finish, guys. I've come up my bottom right. I go back down the bottom right to make the loop. Get the loop on my thumb so that I can throw it over the needle or lasso it over the needle. Through like that, and then back down bottom right. And there we go, finish stitch, and I've got a loop finish. I can either just pull it up and finish the thread, or I'm going down an extra one because I think that one's above it. 1, 2, 3. And of course, when you're doing a pin stitch on Evenweave, it's different from when you're doing it on Aida. You're doing it on Aida, you go from outside to the from the side to the middle. When you're doing it on Evenweave, once you get through the whole the fabric thread, and I promise you, I'm not using ballpoint needles. I'm using John James needles. When I want to go through the fabric, I do. Sorry, when I don't want to go through the fabric, I do. And when I do want to go through the fabric, I can't. Come on. Oh, for goodness sake, come on. You're sliding back with sliding up the back of it, come on. I'm getting cramp in my hand to hold the needle, come on. Oh, for goodness sake. There we go. Just got to get the needle into the right bit. That's going 3, 1, 2. That's going away. Right. Now I'm having problems threading needles. Oh. 1 there, and 3, so 1, 2. Seem to have better success with the vertical strands than the horizontal ones. I don't even do a full pin stitch, I just do half a pin stitch, but it's just enough just to hold the fabric until I stitch over it, and it's usually hidden as well, so. Yeah, I finished this motif now, so. I'm starting to end colours now, and I mean, you would never have thought, looking at it on the mock-up, you would never have thought there was a bright blue in there. Or a baby blue. Quite a nice shade of blue, that as well. I think. Oh. There we go. This is 332, no, 794. Yeah, I think the only major, the only projects that I have that I've got 2 strands on 18 count are my Flying Scotsman and my Quakers, my Scotland Quaker Flag. I think the rest I'm stitching 1/1. I just prefer the 1/1 on 18 count. It's, you know, my CXC threads are thicker than the DMC, so I feel that I'll have a bit of more of a battle, especially on the full coverage project. It's not quite as bad on the Quaker Flag because there's more open stitches, because you know there's spaces. 646. So yeah, a wee bit easier with a single strand on the 18 count. I get pretty good coverage with the CXC on as one strand on the 18 count, and I like the fact I can see the actually see the crosses. I don't know if I would go up to 28 count with CXC. Because I find that sometimes even on the 25 count with the one strand it can be a bit tight. So I think if I was just going straight along lines of stitching my diagonals and not deviating from that, I think that then it would be that can go up there because I don't think I'm going to stitch that. Yeah, I think if I'm going to be stitching in my strict diagonals, I would be easier because you're always going to be coming up in an empty space, which makes it's a lot easier. You're not fighting to get your needle through. I always find it easier to go down through the fabric than come up through the fabric when there's stitches already in. Come on, I have got 5 stitches with a space in the middle. I don't think I'm going to have enough thread on this needle. Oh, I might do. I might have to do a funny end, a funny finish though. Come on, I've got 2 more stitches. 2.5 stitches on. Playing thread chicken here. Then a space and 1 more. Come on, last stitch with this colour. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Come on, over. Through the loop. Come on. There we go. Down. Oh, no, not that hole. Yes. Am I going to be able to get a pin stitch to finish it, or is it going to be too much to ask for? Come on, in the hole, through the fabric, not to the side of it, come on. Come on. Nope, try the other side. Come on, I think I'll be on the other side of this now, come on. Oops, come on. I'll try the one underneath then. Oh no. Let's see, I'll just trim that then. If I can find it. Oh no, okay. I was wanting to cut it so you see how much I had left. I think there's about that much left. Oh well, that'll get stitched over. And I don't know how many stitches I've done. I've just hit 300 stitches today, so 1,814 already. So I've only got another 1,200 to go. Or 1,186. More stitches to go before this goes away into the rotation. It'll go into slot number 19. I have 18 active whips plus my head sail. I did have 19, but I UFO'd Autumn Waltz. This is the only time I will stitch a hole into the hole, is when I'm coming along to the route from right to the right to the left, and it's the same colour. It's the only time that I do it. Other than that, I would have stitched that one first. If that had been a stitch on its own, that colour, I would have done that before I did the one next to it. But yeah. 1, 2, and park it. There. Ooh, nearly done. I'm actually quite impressed with the detail on that, for it being a standard chart, for it not being a max colour. Quite impressed with that. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to mark that as parked. Go. Nope, that one. That one. Park, yeah, right. So, that one. That one. Park there. Do apologise for the language from outside. Unfortunately, I cannot control it. Wind must be carrying in just the right direction for me to hear them, because normally I don't hear them. Right, I think I'll call it quits there. So I reckon I've done about maybe 100 stitches, give or take a few. Finished off that, I think it was about there, so yeah, about 100 stitches. Because it was like a block and a half across, about half a block up, so yeah, about 100 stitches. So that's that. I'm finishing off filming now, because I need to get up and stretch and move around. I'm a wee bit on the sore side sitting at the moment. So there will possibly be another stitch with me later in the week, hopefully with either Peacock and Roses Sampler or with Hummingbirds in spring. It'll probably be a ASMR one though, because especially if I'm doing Hummingbirds in spring, because it is a bit more sort of, it's a few more colour changes and things and keep a track of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to the top and work my way down, straighten that line off when I come back to it, so that I can finish this and finish off down here, so that and try to get a line across. I'm just wondering how many rows I am from the bottom of the page. One, two, three, right, four blocks. So 1, 2, 3, and about to there. So yeah, about halfway down the page. I might just sort of square it up at the bottom and work across. So that is that wee dot there. I'm getting out of the oranges and the beiges and the earthy tones, and getting out of this bit and getting more into the blue further over I'm going now, so yeah. I'm trying to think what flowers they are. I think they're magnolias. And then they've got the honeysuckle on down here as well, so yeah. Not the honeysuckle. Honeycomb. That's what I was looking for. So I'm going to carry on with this after I've had a little break and got up stretched. Usual reminders, guys. If you're concerned about your totals and things like I've been lately, remember even one stitch completed is progress, as it is one less stitch that you still have to do at the end. And treat others as you wish to be treated yourself. That smile or kind word doesn't cost you anything, but it can mean the world to the person on the receiving end of it. You don't know what they're going through in their life. They could be going through an absolute horrendous day, and your smile or kind gesture can make all the difference to that person on that day. So yeah, be kind. As always, I'm going to also say, reminder, if you like what you've seen in the video, if you enjoy watching my progress on my projects, you don't necessarily need to watch Stitch With Me. If you like the Stitch With Me, then give it a like. And subscribe if you want to help, follow my progress. Subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything. But it shows me that what I'm doing is appreciated. and if you click on the notification bell and select all, for all notifications, you'll get notified whenever I upload new content, whether it's a Stitch with Me, an update, or a how-to, or a post. You know, I do occasionally put up posts about things like finishing a section. I did one last week where when I had finished the fish on my big project, my Aimee Stewart one. So yeah, I do try and engage with people. I do try and answer your comments. So if you have got a question, pop it in the comments and I will try and answer you. If I don't know, I will say I don't know. And if I know of a floss tuber who, you know, if it's a question about a stitching method, a particular stitching method, or whatever, and I know which floss tuber it is that sort of talks about that, I can point you in that direction. If not, if I don't know, then, you know, and I don't have a clue who to look to, it's something that we can explore together and, you know, find a solution or get an answer to. Because I'm still learning. I've not been cross stitching for long, and I'm still learning. And this method that I stitched on this, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying seeing the progress because, you know, I'm enjoying seeing the picture build up. But anyway, I'm beginning to waffle on, so I'm going to go and stretch and move about and get myself a fresh drink because this one's just about done. And I suppose I better go and give two little four-legged things some treats because they've been really, really good. Oscar's lying in the cat tree, sound asleep, and I don't know where Charlie is. I think he's hiding in the bedroom. But I'm away, guys. So, yep. Take care. If you are affected by this storm that we've got today, take care and stay safe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.